How y'all feeling, man? Welcome to the Positionless podcast. If you watched us before, it's welcome back. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about our NBA awards. Who we giving out the motherfucking the chrome to, the gold
MVP,
to.
the Depoy, Coach of the Year.
Everything that you want to hear, man. But before that, I believe you got a quiz for me today.
Yeah, and it's right in the theme of the episode today.
Okay.
I'm going to be asking you questions about every award, all time. We got different questions for every award. So
Interesting.
first, I'm going to start with MVPs. Who's got the most MVPs in NBA history?
Kareem?
Kareem.
Is it 6?
6.
Okay, let's get it.
You know who 2 and 3 are?
I know it's probably Bron with 5. No,
Bron's
Bron
got
doesn't-
4.
Bron's got 4. Someone's got 5, though, right?
2 people have 5.
Not Jordan.
Jordan.
It is Jordan, okay. Is it another old guy?
Old guy. One of the all-time great centers.
Centers. Okay. For some reason I was thinking like Magic or something, but he didn't play long enough. Is it Wilt? Did they give MVPs back then?
Not Wilt.
Bill Russell?
Bill Russell. He's got 5.
It is the Bill Russell MVP award right now. Or am I thinking about Finals MVP?
That's the Finals MVP.
Yeah, I'm bugging.
Next one we got is the oldest player to win MVP.
I'm going to guess Kareem just because he got so many.
Not Kareem.
Not Kareem. Let's think. Is it more modern? Like, are we talking about pre-90s or past 90s?
It's 90s.
Jordan?
Not Jordan. He played against Jordan a few times.
Karl Malone?
Karl Malone. He won MVP at 35 years old.
Motherfucking pedophile.
Jordan won it at 34. Bron won it at 33. What about the youngest MVP?
That's D Rose. Everybody knows.
D Rose. But do you know number 2? He also won it at
fun.
22 years old. Won it in his rookie season.
You said, Wes Unseld.
Yes, sir.
That's the only Rookie of the Year MVP ever.
What about, let's move on to the Sixth Man of the Year. Who won the Sixth Man of the Year the most times in their career?
Lou Will?
Lou Will, and he's tied with one other guy.
Fuck. Is it Manu?
Not Manu.
It's another Lou Will type guy, right?
Yeah.
I literally know it. His name's.
He might have even played on the same team as Lou Will at one point in their career.
Bro, I literally know it. But I can't think of the name. Who is it?
Jay Crossover.
Yeah, yes,
Jamal
sir.
Crawford.
Jamal Crawford. Okay, that was stupid. I should have got that.
How about Depoy? There's 3 guys who has won the Defensive Player of the Year 4 times.
Rudy.
Is
Hakeem in there?
Not Hakeem.
Dikembe?
Dikembe, yes. One more guy.
One more guy. Is another center, of course, right?
Yeah.
Center?
Center. Straight rebounds.
For some reason, I'm thinking like Bill Lambier, but I know it's not him.
Nah, he might have played on the Pistons.
Oh, it's
before,
Ben
though.
Wallace. What
Ben
am I
Wallace.
talking about, bro? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let's move
Straight
on.
just boards and defense. That boy averaged like 4 points in a 15-year NBA career.
A 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, though.
He was nice.
Rookie of the
Champion,
Year.
right?
Yeah, he won a chip
that's
for
what I
sure.
thought.
Who's the youngest player to win Rookie of the Year?
That's random because they're all fucking rookies.
It should be pretty easy. if you think
LeBron?
about it. LeBron.
Okay.
How about the oldest? This guy was a 4-year guy, obviously.
Okay, so yeah, you said 4-year guy. For some reason, my mind went to like an Embiid, but because he didn't play for like 2-3 years. Is it Malcolm Brogdon?
Not Brogdon. He was like tied. He was second.
Okay, that's funny because I'm pretty sure Embiid and Brogdon were battling for Rookie of the Year. I don't think Embiid won Rookie of the Year
No,
because
because he only
Brogdon
played
won
20 games.
Yeah, let me stop.
This guy's an all-time great.
All-time great 4-year guy.
All-time great center. So
4-year
obviously he
guy.
played a long time ago because no one's staying 4 years nowadays.
I mean, you say that, but there's still some 4-year guys that come out like
Not winning Rookie of the Year, though.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, his second-round pick. This guy's an all-time
He had a great
great.
rookie season, though. I mean, yeah, you're right.
Played for
How the fuck
a
am I supposed to
prestigious
know this,
franchise. Went to college at Navy.
At Navy,
Yeah,
David Robinson.
David Robinson.
I didn't even know he went to Navy, but for some reason, like it clicked when you said that.
You
Just
knew,
seems-
but like
I knew he
deep
was like a
down,
military guy type shit. But
Just a few more left.
shout out David Robinson. He's one of those guys that gets kind of lost in the Spurs history.
Probably
in the
one of the
history
most
of basketball
underrated
as well.
bigs ever.
Boy put up 70 in a game.
Yeah,
Yeah, crazy. Nobody talks about David Robinson.
just getting overshadowed by Tim Duncan and that.
Yeah, Twin Towers out there, mama.
Yep.
And just the era of bigs before him as well. He kind of got caught in a weird period.
Playing with Shaq.
Yeah.
Playing against him. Coach of the year. There's 3 coaches that have won it 3 times.
Not Spo.
Not Spo.
I don't think he's even won one.
It's got connections to Spo.
Pat Riley.
Pat Riley, yeah.
On Lakers.
Yep.
And Heat.
Yep.
Let's think.
This other guy, I think he's the most winningest coach in NBA history.
It's Pop.
Pop. That's not who I was talking about, but yes.
Winningest coach in NBA history. That's not Pop. Steve Kerr.
Not Steve Kerr, no.
Oh, I just figured because, think about his head coaching history. Championship,
Not
finals round,
in terms of winning percentage, but the most amount of games
wins
won.
total.
Yeah.
It's not Pop.
Not a guy you've probably watched coaching, but you've heard his name.
Phil Jackson.
Not Phil.
Damn. That was a good guess, though.
Yeah.
Talking about Bulls, Lakers, Knicks. A lot of winning teams there, not on the Knicks, but I don't know.
Don Nelson.
I know the name, but I genuinely know nothing about the bro.
Yeah. Neither
Who
do
did
I.
he coach?
Bucks, Knicks, and Warriors.
Okay. Hey, I think I recognize the Bucks, but damn, bro, I would have never guessed that in a million years.
Last one. Can you just name the last players who have won Clutch Player of the Year? The 2 players who have ever won the
De'Aaron
award.
Fox and DeMar DeRozan.
De'Aaron Fox is correct.
Oh, and Steph Curry.
Stephen
I always
Curry.
think it's DeMar because he had
because
that
he had the
crazy
year before the Clutch Player of the Year that he would have won.
They should have just given him I don't even know what to call it. Honorable fucking
honorary Clutch
Player of the Year
award.
because we was a year too late for your fucking fantastic season.
Yeah, they should have.
They really should have, but you got any more?
That'll do it for today.
I did pretty good. I mean, I feel like Don Nelson and Jay Cross really the only ones that stumped.
Definitely should have got
Definitely should have
Crawford.
got Crawford. But
Nelson is excusable
I don't even know.
before your
bro.
time. Before your time.
Before our time, bud.
Yeah.
Say it correctly.
Let's get into our players of the week, though.
Yes, sir. I think we should both have one guy number 1.
I gave it to the Greek freak,
Yes, sir.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Let's talk about that 3-game stretch he had.
35, 17, and 20.
Ooh, on the Sixers that night.
Yeah.
Crazy. But he had a 3-game stretch where he was averaging 36, 12, and 14. And then, of course, last night put up another 25-point triple-double. But that 3-game
24-point comeback against the Timberwolves last night, too.
I didn't even know about the comeback. I didn't watch that.
They
shit. I just saw
outscored him
the
43 to
box
10 in the fourth quarter.
Jesus
Something like
Christ.
that. Yeah. Shout out
And to
Giannis.
think I was considering Ant for Clutch Player of the Year. Briefly. But that 3-game stretch, those stats, that hasn't been done since Wilt Chamberlain. And when your name is in something with Wilt Chamberlain, bro, and that motherfucker was putting up video game numbers in an era where let me not even get into that, but it's just very nice company to be a part of. And I'd also just want to mention with Giannis, he's going to get glossed over in the MVP convos, but if anybody on his team was a little bit better, I think he'd be up there. So,
yeah, I mean, you see with Lillard out right now, he's really just putting the team on his
back,
back.
bro. Yeah.
And they're on a 4-game win streak, so shout out to Giannis.
Shout out Giannis. Who's your next guy?
Next guy, I gave it to Zach LaVine. This week, he's averaged 35, 59% from the field, 65% from 3, 37 in a win versus the Cavs, 43 in a win versus Detroit, and the Kings just clinched the play-in spot. So shout out to them. Shout out Zach LaVine. He's really hooping.
We going to rename the play-in to the DeMar DeRozan Invitational. That motherfucker's in there every year. But shout out Zach LaVine. I didn't even know he was balling like that.
Yeah.
But shout out the Kings, too, clinching the play-in after everybody thought the season was over when they fired Mike Brown. Shout out to them. But I got John Moran at 2, bro.
Okay.
Hit
He
that.
got all them celebrations
He
coming out.
got them grenade celebrations. He got everything right. He's got a weapon on him. That's
he
all.
said
That's
he
all he
can't
needs
shoot
to
the
know.
gun. He said, "I'll throw the grenade."
Don't pull out the rocket
Anything
launcher
with
next,
weapons.
son.
The rocket launcher. I wouldn't be surprised.
Shoot an RPG at your bench. Just blow your shit up. But he had a game winner in Miami. In the night, he put up 30. He's been averaging 31, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists in his last 3 games. And his 3-point shot is looking like it's taking a bit of a turn. Shooting 48% on his threes on over 8 attempts in those 3 games. I don't think that's like super real, like we're gonna get from John, a large stretch. But man,
Looking confident out there.
I think the coaching is a big part of it, man. Like we were all taken by surprise, but it seemed to be making a difference.
Get that coach in there that empowers him, lets him run the offense.
For
Get
sure.
that usage up a little bit.
Yeah, and he's looked good on the court in the last few weeks, so had to give him some love.
My last guy, I gave it to AirPods, Brandon Pozemski. He had that game against the Lakers, 28, 8, and 6 in that matchup. I mean, he's just been looking really good. 26, 8, and 6 against Denver. And he had a nice game against Houston the other night, even though they lost. He's just been looking really good as that, not even third guy, but he's playing like the second scorer right now behind Steph Curry.
He's a play finisher for sure.
Hitting them open threes. That's all he needs to do for them. Hit the open shots, take some time off the dribble, create for yourself.
He can put the ball on the floor in a scramble situation and get to the bucket and make a play.
He's been looking real good since that Jimmy trade, and
He has.
right before the playoffs too, get that confidence up.
I mean, the Warriors aren't a team that I don't think anybody wants to see in a 7-game series. So
For sure.
I got Kobe White as my third guy, and
Shout
he's
out
been
Kobe
balling for
White.
the last month or so, man. But he put up 30 in his last 2 games. He's been averaging 32 and 6 on ridiculous shooting splits in the last week. Just been balling out of his mind. Honestly, like I said, the past few months, just had to give him his flowers. I might have given him Player of the Week 2 weeks or last week, but you know
He deserves it, though.
He deserves it, man, because he's been hooping. And the Bulls are have they clinched that play-in spot?
I think so. I mean,
Basically, yeah.
yeah. Sixers or Raptors ain't catching up at this point.
No, but let's get into the games we assign each other, man.
Yeah.
You assigned me Grizzlies versus Pistons. Ja was out. Cade's first game back after missing about 6 with a calf strain. Jalen Duren was out as well, which was pretty crucial in the end because Beef Stew got in some foul trouble, and they had to end up using Asar at center for the majority of the fourth quarter, it felt like. And as a result, Zach Edey got a career-high 21 rebounds. And even before Isaiah had to sit down, man, Edey was grabbing boards like it was nothing, racking up 7 offensive rebounds as well. Grizzlies overall killed them in the rebounding game. But let's get into it.
Yeah.
Detroit, early in the game, kept going to the short roll and dribble handoffs with Beef Stew, but unfortunately, he's just not the playmaker to be doing all that. So it wasn't very pretty offense for them early. I mean, I watched him try to tween cross or cross tween JJJ at the free throw line on a short roll and just immediately turn it over.
Don't be trying that against Jaren.
I think he ended with like 3 turnovers, but it felt like every time it was on JJJ in a move where he was just trying to do way too much. So
That's Beef Stew you're talking about?
yeah, that's Beef Stew.
Yeah. You're not that guy, pal. Sorry.
Literally got it in the short roll. He just locked onto the basket. Like
Damn.
immediately stolen. But I want to talk about Desmond Bane, man. He finished with 38 points, amazing shooting. From the first few possessions, he was feeling it. Hit a 3 from deep, and he was working the 2-man game with Edey very well. Smart in that pick and roll. I don't think he finished with too many assists, but he was making a lot of good passes that just didn't get completed by his teammates. But for the Grizzlies, man, the first few possessions and early out in general, they had JJJ basically attacking Asar. One-on-ones, post-ups. They felt like they had the advantage there. But, I mean, although he finished with 27 points, he was getting to the line a lot, but he only shot 9 for 23 and 1 for 6 from 3. So I think Asar definitely held his own in that matchup. And they were really trying to attack him early. Like the first 3 possessions were straight to JJJ on the block. So
I mean, I like that for the Grizzlies because Jaren he's got a few inches on him. He can get a shot off over him. But
I mean,
Asar is that strong, athletic defender.
I honestly thought Asar was guarding him very well, and the refs were kind of giving JJJ the benefit of the doubt. Like the first play,
They call a foul on him.
they called the foul on him. He was
Cross
backing
at
him
that time.
down. He went up for the shot, got blocked, no foul. Went up for the shot again, got blocked again. They called the foul. Of course, I'm not there in person. He might have got arm or hand, whatever. But I thought he was playing very stingy defense on them. So let's get into this, though. The first half in general was pretty low scoring. Good defense was being played on both sides. Overall in the game, it was pretty low scoring, relative to the rest of the NBA nowadays. But both teams were shooting under 38% going into the second half, with the Pistons leading by 47-46. Bane came into the third with a purpose, man. Getting to the line, getting buckets, getting to the rim as well. Nobody could stop him. Well, Cade was struggling in the second half, man. He only made 4 of his 13 attempts and didn't make any field goals in the fourth at all.
It was clamping him up.
He was missing layups and shit, bro.
Oh,
I just think his game was off a little bit. I mean, he finished with like 25 and 5 and 4. So, like, if you look at the box score, you wouldn't really think too much about it, but it just wasn't his night. Honestly, I was talking shit on Beef Stew earlier, but that third quarter, it felt like the only thing really keeping in the game was Beef Stew and Asar's defense, because Beef Stew was hitting threes. He had a couple mid-range fucking jump shots off the pass. He was playing good defense as well. So that third quarter was a lot of Beef Stew and Asar Thompson getting buckets and playing stingy defense. I think Asar finished with like 18 as well. So he was getting out in transition, definitely being aggressive. There was a few times where I wish he would have slowed it down.
Those Thompson twins in transition, though.
Men's better. Nah, let me stop. But he is very quick, and he makes a lot of good decisions in transition in those quick moments. But there's a few times where I was like, okay, don't force the layup there. It wasn't a good look. Slow it down. Reset the offense. You got 20 seconds left. Like,
You don't gotta
force
layup
that
on the fast break every time.
exactly. But Cade was struggling the second half. The rest of the Pistons kind of picked it up a little bit, but they couldn't quite get it going. They fell down in the beginning of the fourth about, I think it was like a 6-point lead by the Grizzlies, and they just kept it there for a long time, and ended up 91-85 with about 5 minutes left, and then Isaiah had to sit down with 5 fouls, which is tough because they then had to put Asar back in at center. And, I mean, they could have played Paul Reed, but the small ball was actually working for a bit. They pulled the lead back to 93-91 off of Malik Beasley, contested 3 in the corner. Shout out Malik Beasley. I was considering him for 6th man of the year.
He got a little bit of consideration for me.
I didn't end up putting him in my top 2, but I definitely think that he's having a great year and he should be considered for it. But Desmond Bane, man, talk about his fourth quarter. I think he put up 9 points in the fourth. Hit a big 3 with about 50 seconds left to wrap it up. Memphis then wrapped it up at the free throw line to I forgot what the final score was. It might have been 106-100, something like that. But
Yeah.
it was a fun game.
Desmond Bane going off. Shout out Desmond Bane.
Yeah, Desmond Bane ended up with 38, man, and he shot fantastically from the floor. Like,
Started off the year slow,
he did,
but glad to see him pick it up.
Yeah, I was one of the biggest. I think that was something I brought up in our biggest disappointments of the year so far was Desmond Bane. He was shooting terribly.
Yeah.
But it's definitely picked it up since All-Star break, so shout out him.
Game I watched, Warriors versus Rockets.
Banger.
Yeah, it was a good game. One thing I want to talk to you about is this Rockets experimenting with their lineups.
I love the double
Talking
bigs.
about that Steven Adams, Sengun, and Jabari lineup.
And Tari and Amen.
Tari and Amen.
They're running a lineup
I think
lately.
that was with the Rockets or against the Thunder.
Okay.
In this game, it was Freddie, Aaron Holiday, Jabari, Sengun, and Adams.
Dude, Jabari at the 3 with the double big is actually very good.
Very scary on the defensive end.
Yes, it is. And a lot of people are be like, what about the spacing? What about the spacing? Well, y'all understand is we have some of the best post playmaking in the league. We have some of the best post passers in the league. And I'm talking post to post, big to big. Steven Adams out here setting seal screens that y'all probably don't even know what that shit is. Now I'm playing, but sealing off the defender where they can't get a contest either on LP roll or Amen Thompson cut. Yeah, it's fun to watch, and I think it's some old school basketball type shit. I think Ime is going to start getting to his offensive bag now that we know that defense is solid.
Yeah.
I think Ime is going to start really get into his offensive bag in this playoff run.
Hey,
So
he better.
he does have to. So
Yeah, I mean, like you just said on the offensive end, Sengun can make any pass. Adam's a smart player out there.
he's a great passer.
You got the right cutters. And on the defensive end, they started running zone a little bit with that lineup. It did lead to a couple open threes, but
That back end of the 2-3
Jimmy couldn't
zone,
get anywhere close in the paint. Neither could Kaminga. So,
that back line of the 2-3 zone with Bari, Sengun, and Adams is
Scary.
tough, bro.
definitely scary.
But I got to talk about when they were running that lineup with Amen and Tari as well.
Yeah.
That shit, I believe they had a net rating of plus 14 with
That's
no
that
guards.
game where they were just I feel like it was close against them, the Thunder, and then out of nowhere, the Rockets just
Bro.
freaking went up by 15 with that lineup.
Sengun was bullying. We were outsizing and outclassing the Thunder at the same time.
Yeah.
That shit was fun to watch, man.
Hey.
I hope we match up in a playoff series.
I was a guy that all year, the Rockets are first round exit. But
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
The more I'm watching them, the
I
more
told
they're
you we weren't
gelling,
tapped in, man.
the more versatile they are. I didn't think this double big lineup could ever be a possible thing with the Thunder.
Steven
Or
Adams
not
is
the Thunder,
just
the Rockets.
Steven Adams is honestly just the key to that. He's so smart.
He's still a good player.
He's such a great player. I don't know why Memphis salary dumped him to us.
Yeah.
And even me, I was kind of wary about Steven Adams. I was like, he's older. He's coming off a bad injury. But
He's still effective out there.
Steven Adams is one of my favorite players right now, of all time, bro.
Of all time.
I just love the way he plays the game, man. I love the way Steven Adams plays.
He knows what he's got to do, and he does it.
Can you not attack his hand, Taurus?
But another lineup they ran, I thought it was a great coaching move by Ime. As soon as the Warriors, they brought in Quentin Post to trying to stretch out that double big lineup. As soon as they did that, they brought in Jabari at the center. They're running small ball. They brought Tari and Amen in for the double bigs.
We got a lot of ways we can go against teams, man.
It was great because it's not like Quentin Post is gonna punish you on the glass.
Bari can fucking lock his ass up in the post.
Exactly. And on the offensive end, the Warriors
can't
were
catch
scrambling all over the place. It was great ball movement, great cutting from the Rockets. So, yeah, the more I watch this game, the more I realize how versatile and scary they could be in the playoffs.
I'm just glad that you're
great
giving
coaching
them their
from Ime.
flowers, bro. I'm just happy you're giving the Rockets their flowers.
I mean,
right
after
now.
this week with wins against the Thunder and the Warriors, I think
we're
probably the two best teams in the West, people would say, right now. I mean, the Warriors are up there, but definitely the Rockets.
I mean, the Rockets, I'm pretty sure, are the only team to have 2 wins against the Cavs and the Thunder.
They're a good fucking team.
Yeah, we're a very good fucking team. And we'll talk about it later, but credit to Ime, man. Credit to Ime.
Rockets defense was crazy this game. You know how many points Curry had?
3?
3 points in a game on a
Amen
buzzer-beating shot at the end of halftime.
Amen Thompson was been fucking crazy, bro.
Yes, it was Amen, but Jalen was playing great defense. Sengun off the screens.
Very good team defense, but
Amen,
man.
he's the perfect guy I want guarding Steph because not only is he a great on-ball defender, but he's got the athleticism and the quickness to chase him around screens and not let him get. Of course, the IQ.
He's got the IQ for that shit.
To not let him get open off the screen. So, yeah, holding Steph Curry to 3 points is pretty insane.
Is this the game where Draymond elbowed LP in the face and shit and was telling the ref,
they got a little bit
didn't
into
call
it at the end of the
Don't warn
second
me,
quarter.
just call it. What the fuck? But okay, I'm sorry. Keep giving me your recap.
Steph's had some help though. Pods had 19 points. He had a lot of timely shots. Buddy healed. He hit 6 threes, had 20 points off the bench. Even Gary Payton had 16, hitting corner threes, grabbing 3 offensive rebounds. But I feel like this is a game where Jimmy Butler needed to be more aggressive. He only shot 4 for 7 from the floor and only 4 free throws all game. And
he needs more than 7 shots.
with 6 minutes left in the game, the Rockets had got the lead to 10. And at that point, with Curry struggling and them not really letting Curry touch the ball, they were relying on guys like Buddy and Gary Payton to hit corner threes. Because for some reason, Steve Kerr didn't put Pods in until the last 3 minutes, even though he's been their best player all game.
Steve Kerr bum.
But yeah, with 6 minutes left, down by 10, I feel like that's part of the reason they traded for Jimmy Butler. was so he can come in games when Steph is struggling to have another go-to guy in the fourth quarter that can go get you a bucket. He didn't do anything. Just being very passive, kicking it out to Gary Payton in the corner or running a handoff or Buddy Hield. Like, I get it. Those guys are three-point shooters, but you're Jimmy Butler.
He was scared.
I don't know if he's just saving it for the playoffs, but he was being passive.
Save it for the playoffs, bro. I honestly think Houston wins that matchup. Steph Curry ain't going to score 3 every game.
I can't call it now. I'm going to have to wait for the playoffs to call the matchups because it is such a close race in the Western Conference right now. Really, anybody can match up with anybody at this point.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
The third seed and the sixth seed are
But the only
one game
teams
apart.
I'm even slightly scared of in the West is OKC. Let me not say scared of. Like, I think any team could beat
Any team can beat
right
any
now.
team.
Yeah, that's just facts.
Yeah.
Except, I don't know, the Thunder are they're locked in for me, bro.
They're not locked in for me, bro.
Unless they match up with the Rockets.
I don't think the Thunder are that overpowered. I don't think they're that good.
I think it boils down to Shea.
It does.
Yeah.
Is Shea going to
I think Shea is gonna
score 40 points a game in the playoffs?
But it's not just that. It's what
he does create so many open shots for other guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
but can the other guys knock down the shots when it matters most?
For sure.
That's why we saw them lose last year.
Yeah, I mean, J-Dub, fell apart.
Yeah.
Let me not get
I'm
on
gonna
his
say
case
fell
too bad.
apart.
He was a second-year player.
Yeah.
First time in the playoffs, in a real playoff run.
I still don't know if he can be a second scoring option, though. I get you have the best number one in the league, as in go get a bucket, ISO by yourself.
Yeah,
I mean, he's going to score one-on-one pretty much every time. So it's going to come down to it. I don't think the Thunder are penciled in to be in the championship.
I don't want to say penciled in, but, like, let's be honest. I don't think the Timberwolves have the real shot. Obviously, the Nuggets just fired their fucking coach. We got to talk about that.
Fuck it. Let's talk about it right now.
Okay.
Because are you taking the Nuggets seriously anymore with
No.
No. It's still the same
fuck?
team. It's still the same team.
I'll be honest. I think taking that voice out of the locker room when there was already definitely some turmoil going on, where it seemed like the players were kind of rubbing each other the wrong way. Jokic has looked miserable for the last month.
I saw him complaining on the bench the other night. He's like, what the fuck is this roster?
I mean, I saw a clip where Aaron Gordon is trying to fucking get everybody to huddle after a foul. And motherfuckers aren't coming over to huddle. He's standing there for 15 seconds. I think Christian Brown was the only one standing with him.
Wow.
So, like, Jamal Murray, Russell Westbrook, they were just not fucking...
They weren't bought in?
No, they're not bought in. I think there's definitely some type of turmoil going on. I've seen 15 fucking rumors that Jokic is going to the Lakers now.
That's got to be bullshit. Come on.
Yeah, 100% bullshit, but...
I mean, they just fired their GM, too.
Is it... Yeah, they
Calvin
did fire
Booth.
their GM as well. I just can't imagine that there's any type of hope in that fucking building right now. So,
dude, I was just at work. I looked up at the TV. I see breaking news: Nuggets fire Mike Malone. I'm just flabbergasted.
What's crazy to me is my coworker, who definitely does not watch ball, came up to me. He's like, "No, the Nuggets just fired their coach." I was like, "What are you talking about?"
It's gotta
be Santel. Yeah, I was like, "That motherfucker is talking about football or some shit. He's messing up a team name. I don't know what he's talking about." But, and then I look at my phone, and I got a text from you literally a minute after I saw the tweet. I pull up my phone, I see the Shams notification. I was like, nah.
I think I texted you. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, you literally just said, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, there's some shit going on. I don't know, man. I mean, we saw him kind of toast the team like a few days before, talking about
Nobody's watching film.
If I bring something up, coach is tripping.
Yeah. But
I mean, I don't know, man.
This late into the season, I think it was the latest firing of a coach since like the 80s.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It's tied with some motherfucker from the 80s.
And this team just won a championship 2 years ago.
Been
Top
there
5
for a
seed in the
decade.
Western Conference. Most winningest coach in Nuggets history. And you do it a week before the playoff starts. Doesn't make any fucking sense. You wait until the offseason to fire your coach and the GM. That's what you got to do.
But I just don't get... Like, I understand if you wanted to move on.
Yeah.
Let the motherfucker finish out his season, bro.
Bro
like,
coached the whole season.
What if
just
he
for
won
the
a
playoffs.
championship? They had a real shot, in my opinion,
Yeah.
to win a championship
you have
simply
Jokic.
because of Jokic. And if the other guys turned it on, maybe they
Jamal
win a
Murray
series.
has a fucking playoff run.
Maybe they win a series and morale fucking shoots up and the guys come back together and you can get that locker room reined in again.
Yeah.
Bro, you cannot give up now. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, y'all lost 4 games in a row. Big shit. Y'all are still getting into the playoffs.
Yep.
You have Nikola Jokic.
I saw something where the
Collusion.
GM, Calvin Booth, wanted Malone to play the young guys like Strother
Bro, if you're playing,
and
you want to play
Watson
Jalen Pickett over
and
Russell
Pickett.
Westbrook.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Russ did commit a war crime in that fucking Minnesota game.
Yeah.
But either way, bro, he's a better player, far and above.
He's going to
Jalen
help you
Pickett.
win more right now, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He's fucking MVP Russell Westbrook. Let's not talk shit.
Yeah.
If you didn't want him on the team, then why the fuck did you trade for him or sign him? I don't
Yeah.
remember, but that was you, bro.
Don't sign him if you want to play Jalen Pickett over him. Because then he's
Deadass.
going to say, let me just release me then. Let me go
For
help a
real.
team.
That makes no sense.
Nah, it makes no sense. But
And-
Mike Malone will be on the team.
We're going to act like Julian
year.
Strother and Christian Brown and
Strother's decent.
there's another young guy that I can't think
Peyton
of.
Watson.
Peyton Watson have not played significant minutes in like key rotational role for the Nuggets.
Christian
this year.
Braun especially this year.
Yeah, for real. That's a young guy that you drafted. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Those 3 guys he drafted, I'm pretty sure. They're all playing vital roles in your rotation. What the fuck? Why are you mad that he's not playing Jalen Pickett over Russell Westbrook? That motherfucker should be fired. Mike Malone didn't do shit. He was
Well-
honestly one of my favorite coaches around.
Yeah.
I liked his mindset. I liked his mentality. I liked how he talked to the media. And I liked how he coached the game of basketball. But
Wasn't enough for the Nuggets, I guess.
you think I saw a rumor that he could be the Spurs' next coach because Pop, of course, has his health issues. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they want to go with a guy like him or Jenkins, or they want to bring in a guy of their own
I mean,
that they might like.
give
you
me
sit
Mike
them right
Malone
now.
over Taylor Jenkins, bro. Like,
I think they're right next to each other.
I like Mike Malone more. I think Taylor Jenkins is nice, but why the fuck was he excluding Ja from the offense? Like,
Yeah.
that shit had a reason.
This, I feel like the only thing that actually makes sense here is if
Jokic had
Jokic
an
actually
issue.
went to the owner and said, fire both these motherfuckers and
Yeah.
let's make a playoff run.
Did
But
you see the owner said
Jokic
it-
isn't that type of guy.
Did you see the owner's quote? He said
Which
it was
one?
to give them a jolt going into the playoffs. Bro, what are you on?
That's not what you do to give your team a jolt.
You just demolished any sliver of morale left in that squad, bro. The season is clips now.
The team must have hated him.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
But even then, he was a good coach. I don't give a damn. Like, I'm a ride with
X's
my
and
coach
O's
if I
for sure.
know.
He's a good coach.
I'm a ride with my guy if I know that he's doing his job.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we got that out of the way. But finish up this game.
Nah,
Besides
you're still
besides the
talking.
defense on Curry, the Rockets forced 20 turnovers, 26 fast break points, and Jabari actually had a great game off the bench. He came in 16 points, 9 rebounds, 7 of 10 from the field. Wasn't forcing anything. 3 offensive rebounds. He played the small forward. He played the small ball center, and he looked good out there.
Barry is very vital to our versatility because he can play 3 and he can play 5.
I think he was your X factor for this game.
I think he might be the X factor going
Heading into the playoffs. Yeah.
Him and a man, of course. I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure. I
you
mean,
just-
I think a man's gonna do what he does. He's
Yeah,
gonna impact the
but-
game no matter what.
you just never know. I mean, yeah, you're right.
Barry, if he's missing those threes, if he's not looking confident out there,
I think the great thing
he
about the
needs to sit
Rockets
his ass down.
is any one of our guys could be the X factor any night.
Yeah.
Freddie could go off for 6 threes.
Yep.
Jalen Green could have a fucking 40 ball, 30 ball more likely.
Sengun can dominate the post and
Yeah.
control the game.
It's whatever you give us, I feel like we can take advantage of.
Yeah.
If our guys, of course, if our guys are on. But
For
like,
sure.
I think we got a very.
A lot more versatile
chance to
than
make a run.
I realized.
I said they could make a Western Conference Finals run, and you called me crazy, bro. You said I was out of
You're
my
not
mind.
crazy. You're
Yeah.
not crazy.
Thank you. But let's get into
yeah,
these
that's gonna wrap it
awards,
up.
man. Where do you want to start?
Want to just get the MVP out of the way?
Yeah, I got Shea, man.
I got Shea as well.
He's like leader in LeBron, leader in offensive rating or net rating, leader in on-off by a ridiculous margin. I believe it was like 400 more than anybody that's not an Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
I can't argue against him. As much as I love Jokic and as fantastic and amazing a season has been, the ridiculous performances he's had, I think Shea's just been so dominant, and I can't fault him for having a great squad around him. But at the same time, he is the primary factor for why they are who they are.
Yeah, I think I hear argument for Jokic like, oh, if Jokic wasn't on this team, they're fucking gonna be the worst team in the league.
Let's not act like they're bums. Like there's
No,
good players around. Like
I
I just don't
they're
think
not a playoff team.
they're just not. They don't have a guy.
Yeah,
And they don't have the pieces to be like a Houston Rockets where they can compete without a guy.
for sure.
But it's a very good, very decent surrounding squad for Jokic.
But I think you could say the same thing about Shea. Like, he is the guy for that team. You take Shea off that team, they're not a playoff team. Not like maybe like 10th seed, 9th seed, because they do have great role players. But Shea is the reason they're a 65-plus win team.
I mean, say you swap out Shea with like who's an average or somewhat above, like say like even an Austin Reeves type guy.
Yeah.
Like I think they're probably like an 8 seed.
Yeah, like I was about to say 8-6.
Yeah, but you're right about the Nuggets where if you swap out Jokic for a fucking, I don't know, who's a Austin Reeves level center.
Fucking Vooch 3 years ago.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
if you swap him out, Vooch has had a good year. If you swap him out for Vooch, bro, there's just
Yeah.
that's dog shit.
Yeah.
But Shea's just been phenomenal, and I think it's his time, man.
Yeah. So Shea won. Jokic too, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at a co-MVP, bro. But
Nah, neither would I.
I think just with this sour note to end the Nuggets season, it's kind of killed his chance.
Yeah.
You know, like if they went on a 6-game run where he's putting up mad points and they clinched the 2nd seed over the Rockets somehow.
He might get the narrative.
Yeah, exactly.
At this point in the season, it's
That
over
shit's
though.
shot. But
I had to give Giannis the number 3.
I didn't do number 3s, but if I did, it might be Jason Tatum for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I love Giannis, of course, and I think
I think he's like the most underappreciated guy in the NBA right now.
JT.
No, Giannis. Yeah. I mean JT, he's up there too, but
Giannis is definitely underappreciated just because he's been dominant for so long now. And
the shit he does on a nightly basis, like
brother, he made me a Bucks fan. When Giannis is not on the Bucks anymore, I promise you, I'm not going to be watching Bucks games like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still always kind of have a soft spot in my heart for the Bucks because they were the first real team that I rode with from like the
real fandom started when you started really watching basketball.
Yes, and they won that championship season. I mean, exactly. You put in the right words, brother. Like they'll always have a soft spot in my heart, but the Rockets is. I'm rocking with them.
For Giannis' sake, I hope he's
a Rocket.
Not on the Bucks at least.
Yeah, honestly, me too. And I did have realized I'm more of a Giannis fan than a Bucks fan.
How would you feel about that European team up, Giannis and Jokic coming together? You think that's a good? You think that would mesh well together?
I just don't know where it would happen. Who can trade for both of them?
It can't.
Yeah. I mean,
MPJ.
That would be fucking amazing.
Braun, every young player, and all their picks for Giannis.
But there's better packages you can get. Is the problem. It's not like the Bucks owner and GM are like, we really want to see that shit too. like Nico Harrison.
Maybe he's got a little bit of Nico in him. He's getting some advising from Nico Harrison.
He's made some questionable trades, but nothing like that shit.
Yeah. What do you want to get into next?
I mean, let's just work our way down. I mean, let's do Rookie of the Year next, man.
Who you got?
I think this is a little bit controversial, actually.
Yeah.
I got Alex Sarr here, man.
Wow.
And let me tell you why.
Alex Sarr, Rookie
I know
of the Year?
Stephon Castle's probably your Rookie of the Year, right?
He is.
Okay. He's my number 2, and I think the reason I sided with Sarr is just strictly defense, bro.
His defense has been
very
pretty
impactful for a dog shit squad.
That offense, though?
He averaged 16 points, 16.1 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal since February. Since February.
Okay, I was about to say 16.
I mean, I actually looked at both these guys since February and their full year stats. I really want to emphasize, like, in these last 2 months, though, I feel like these rookies they know what an NBA game is like. They're getting to the end of the NBA season where they should be showing some progression. But like I said, 16 points, 6 rebounds, almost 3 assists, a steal, and a block and a half in these last 2 months. He shot better from three on more attempts than Stephon Castle for the whole season. And, we've talked about his three-point shot being like a big question from his game, but he's shooting better than Stephon has.
Really? Is
Yes.
that true?
Yes. Higher efficiency on more attempts all
Well,
season
I know
long.
he's shooting 39% from the field all season long.
Don't get me wrong, though, bro. This is really about his defense. I just wanted to highlight that his offense, as bad as it's been, it's not like he's been...
It's been pretty bad.
No. Not since
been pretty
February.
bad.
Not in these last few
For the
months.
whole year.
Yeah, definitely been bad, but think of the squad he's had around him.
Yeah.
Kyle Kuzma.
No one's playmaking for his ass.
No, they're not. And he's not exactly a
Self-creator.
bucket getter like that.
Yeah.
But let me talk about his defense, man. I believe he's top three in LeBron and D LeBron among rookies. Number one in the league in contests per 75. Number one in the league in contests per 75, brother.
So he contests a lot of shots.
He contests a lot of shots. And he has
probably the only one on that team contesting any shots.
That's my point, though. Like, I think if you put him around even a decent defensive squad, his impact, like advanced stats, would be off the fucking charts. Like,
yeah,
I think he has a lot of defensive potential, and I think he showed it to me this year.
For sure. I think he'd be a really good rim protector.
I think he had a lot better year than some people are giving him credit for.
The average NBA fan doesn't give a fuck about the defense.
No, but that's something I value a lot personally.
No, for sure.
And he has a very respectable block rate per contest. So he's not just contesting bullshit. Like, he's making an impact on that. I didn't look at his rim field goal percentage or defensive rim field goal percentage, which I should have because I'm curious about it now. But I just don't understand why people aren't viewing his defense in the way that I am, where it's already very good. If he had any fucking help, it would be fantastic.
I agree with you there.
I think he's got like Rudy Gobert type potential on the defensive side of the ball.
It's a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
No, I don't know if he's going to win all those awards because he's going to have a
Just his
Wemby
impact?
and an Evan Mobley and a Jaren Jackson to compete with, but I think his impact is going to be up there. Let me not say fully Rudy Gobert's impact because that shit was retarded, but
Yeah.
I just think he's going to be very good. So I think he was very good this year.
I can see where you're at there.
Talk to me when I got Stephon Castle at 1, though.
He just had a great year for a rookie, especially after Wemby got injured. He's got a lot more opportunity. He's had multiple 30-point games. His ball, I don't know what the percentage are, but when I watch, it looks good. He looks confident in shooting it. He can get to the rim. His playmaking good, and his defense is good. Like as a rookie,
The stats do not say his defense is good, even as a rookie. Which is why
honestly, I don't know.
My eye test says it's decent as well.
Yeah,
but the
I'm
stats
more
don't say it's
projecting. Like he's got the athleticism and the size to be a good defender. I'm not this year. I'm not seeing him clamping up. Yeah, no, I'm not saying I've seen him clamping up or anything.
In fact, he had ranked dead last in D LeBron amongst all rookies that qualified for this. So
That's pretty bad.
very bad.
I just think he's had the best.
I do have him number 2. I do have him number 2.
I've had Sar 3 and Ricochet 2.
Really, Ricochet 2. I would have put Jalen Wells as my 3. Let's talk about Jalen Wells just a little bit. That tough injury the other night. That
shit was
motherfucking
scary.
bum KJ Simpson. I got his autograph in a motherfucking card, and I'm pissed that I pulled that dumb motherfucker. I saw that clip of him getting hurt, and I thought it was Miles Bridges at first, just because the way that they cut around it. They didn't cut around the play, but the first thing I saw was...
First angle I saw was the back angle. I didn't know if he got pushed into the back of him or if he was trying to
did not get pushed.
steal.
He did not get pushed.
Fell in and then pushed the back side of him.
It looked like his unathletic ass was thinking about going for it and then started to, and then the last second decided nope, and he still bodied into him, which sent him flying off the
That shit
rim.
was scary.
Scary as fuck. I thought he might have broken like a vertebrae,
Yeah.
something like that. But as far as I know, he only broke his wrist on the floor on the fall, and
the
it looked
last
like
update.
he took a pretty hard hit on the head.
Yeah.
He was out cold.
Probably some mild concussion,
Yeah.
broken wrist, but it looked like it could have been a lot worse. So.
KJ Simpson is so dog shit for that. Like,
Yeah, I mean, obviously he didn't do it on purpose, but it's like, bro, it's fucking. You got to be smarter than that.
yeah, it's not only you got to be smarter than that, but bro, it was a clearly
Clearly, you weren't
it
doing
was
shit
some
that
fake
play.
hustle. Fucking,
Exactly.
You weren't going to contest the shot. He was dunking the ball
Yeah.
on a fast break. There's no reason to jump and get. First of all, he took a hard fall too. There's no reason to get yourself or your opponent injured for nothing. And also just unathletic as fuck, bro. Like the start to jump and then decide you not want to jump and then just fly off into the fucking other dude and then flail off into the motherfucking out of bounds.
That was bad.
It was bad. I'm not going to burn your card because you could be an all-star one day or some shit. Definitely not, but you never know.
Jalen Wallace had a great rookie season, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure his defensive stats have looked a lot better.
I think he was actually the leader in like LeBron overall and
In rookies?
amongst rookies. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, whenever I watch him play, very good defense.
Not just defense.
Oh, yeah, his offense is good, too.
Like his total, like the total LeBron, which is, we talked about this. I don't fully understand the stat.
Yeah.
But I actually have the B-ball index glossary definitions of it here. Like, feel free to look it up yourself, but I'm just gonna.
Because stats and like advanced stats are good to look at like this, but they're not everything, obviously.
They're not everything at all. No, I think I use my eye test first and then advanced stats.
Yep.
But when the advanced stats are telling me the opposite of what my eye test says, I have to consider that in some way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what LeBron is luck adjusted player estimate using a box prior regularized on off.
Yeah, whatever that means.
So basically, it's their, you know what PER is, of course, player
efficiency,
estimate, player efficiency rating.
Yeah.
Think of that as more of a very like condensed version that's trying to take out luck, and it's adjusted for your role, and it's a little bit deeper than that as well. I mean, I cannot fully explain it, but I think I have a good grasp
I
on
understand
what it means.
it.
Yeah, I think I have a good grasp on what it means,
Yeah.
but I cannot articulate it for another person too. So I encourage you to look into the B-ball index stats, LeBron. I'll link it in the description for you motherfuckers.
It's named after LeBron for a reason.
Well, that shit is a forced acronym.
Yeah.
They did that shit for a reason. I just wanted to say that because I'm going to be mentioning a lot of that kind of shit today, but I want to talk about Stephon Castle a little bit. You know, since I was talking about his Alex Sarr's post-February numbers, I do want to highlight Stephon Castle. Averaged almost 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists since taking on a larger role with the Spurs injuries. You know, De'Aaron Fox has been out with his finger. It's his finger, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, the Wemby injury. But I just think he did clearly display his potential. I just don't think... I personally didn't look at this season as such a success as other people have. But maybe that's just me
For
personally.
Castle?
Yeah.
What the fuck were you expecting him to do?
No. Not up to expectations. I just think...
If it was a failure of a season. for
No,
Castle.
I did not say that at all. I said as much as a success.
Okay.
I just I'm not a fan of his game. I don't dislike him, but maybe other people just like him more than I do, brother. I just don't see him as.
Is there anything you would have liked to see him do?
I mean, not really.
Besides
Bro.
the defense.
I like what he did for sure. I like his playmaking. Of course, the efficiency is not quite there yet, but they're rookies. None of them are going to be for the most part. I just like Sarr's season more, honestly. Like, I'm not knocking Stephon Castle at all, but it seems like everybody else is like he's locked in at number 1 there.
Nah, I don't think he's locked.
I think a lot of people do think he's locked though. I look up references to what other people think. Like, I'm trying to gauge their opinion. I'm like, everybody has Stephon Castle winning Rookie of the Year.
1, he's got the numbers, and 2, just watching him play. He's obviously the player you'd watch before the role player in Risa Shea or the defensive guy in Alex Sarr. So that's probably why. More watchability. More highlights.
I definitely see what you're saying there.
He's got some slams and some 30-point games.
I want to do. Risa Shea's had a damn good year too. I mean,
Yeah, he has.
He had that explosion the other night, or a couple weeks ago, with like 36.
Yep.
I think he only dribbled like 3 or 4 times in that game alone. So he could be a Klay Thompson like guy.
I really hope the Hawks keep Trey because Dyson's perfect next to him. I think
There's
Reese
a
Shay's
Shea,
perfect next to him. And Yeka's had a great year. And you
And I
didn't
really
even have
like
Jalen Johnson this year.
Yeah.
I think they're building something great. I really hope they don't trade him this offseason.
Me too. I definitely think some continuity with that Hawk squad is going to go a long ways next season.
Yeah.
But there's so many good teams out east too, so it's hard to project them to even be a top 6 seed next year.
Yeah.
Like a
yeah.
playoff.
You don't know what the Sixers are going to do. The
Well,
Raptors
the
have
Bucks
so
will
much
probably
talent.
fall off. Yeah, the Raptors, man, love the Raptors.
The Bulls, I have no idea what the Bulls are going to do.
Dude,
They'll
I
probably
feel like
be
they're
the
probably the
ninth seed
same
again.
thing. Yeah, same thing next year for the Bulls. Run that bitch back.
Just get some player progression for Modest and Giddey.
I mean,
and
you guys
Kobe
have
White.
to have some expiring contracts, right?
Maybe like Torrey. No, Torrey Craig's not even on the team anymore, I don't think.
No, he's not. Or he's either
We
on
re-signed
the
the
team
ball. We re-signed Patrick Williams. I think Kobe White got his extension. We got to re-sign Giddey. He's up for a contract. I don't know how much he's going to get, but big money probably.
30?
For another year.
You probably get a Jalen Green-like contract.
Yeah, probably. Which
How do
I'm
you feel
fine.
about that?
Dude, he's been balling out of his mind. Give him the money.
The last
He's
few
our guy.
months.
He's our guy.
He's your
Grow
guy?
him and Modest together.
Josh Giddey is your guy is kind of funny, man.
He looks
don't
nice as the guy.
He's all
That's
right,
his role.
man. I know.
He's great with the ball in his hands. And if he can score
that's the
like he has
problem.
been,
But that's the problem. He can't play without the ball in his hands.
well, he's so good with the ball in his hands.
I know.
He complements off-ball player like Kobe White. Can throw the lobs to Modest.
It just like I know they're a good young core, but it just doesn't
You can't
feel,
give him the credit yet because it's the Bulls.
Not even that. It just doesn't feel like a very young core.
Well, it came out. I mean, Kobe White's not that young, I
He's
guess,
like 25
anymore.
now?
Yeah, 24, 25.
Josh Giddey's still like 22, 23.
Yeah, it's like 22, I think.
Modest is what, 19, 20?
Yep. I mean,
You
I'm not
have, like, a
hoping
Dalen
anything
Terry
for Pat
and
Williams
stuff.
anymore.
Pat Williams is a bum. I'll
Yeah.
talk about him later with that interesting article I read earlier. We'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah, it's going to depend on what happens in the draft this year, but
What award do we got next, man? You want to talk about
Depoy?
Depoy? Let's
yeah,
get it.
I gave it to Mobley.
Me too, man. Who you got at number 2? I'm just curious.
2, I got Draymond.
Okay. I was hoping one of us would have Dyson, but I couldn't either, man. Just
Not
because
just 'cause the team he's on, yeah.
of course. I mean, I will talk about Dyson later, but talk to me about Evan Mobley. That's your guy.
Yeah, 7th best defensive rated. Cavs top 10 defense in the league. Just watching him play. Protects the paint, can switch out on defense as good as any big in the league. And I just don't think the Cavs are where they are without someone like him on the defensive end. You do have Jarrett Allen, of course, but the Mobley is so switchable and rangy. Without him, they're not even close to a top 10 defense.
No, I agree.
Covering up a lot of the holes of Darius Garland.
For sure, yes, which is something that I was concerned about with that small backcourt. But him and Jared Allen has been great as well. He's kind of gotten swept under the rug a little bit in this whole Cavs run.
Mm-hmm.
But Jared Allen is a damn good center.
Yeah.
Shout out J.A. That's not his nickname. No one calls him that. But
What's his name? The Fro.
the Fro, yes, sir. But yeah, let's talk about Evan Mobley, man. As great as Draymond has been, I think Emo has been consistently all year long in those discussions. I think he was the clear number 2 before Wemby got hurt, and I don't think that's changed at all for me. He won 2 Defensive Player of the Month awards. His top 5 in D. LeBron. I talked about this in our last episode, but top 5 in D. LeBron, top 5 in defensive field goal percentage versus expected, top 5 in rim deterrence, top 5 in contest per 75.
You can go on and on
Yeah,
about fucking
literally.
Evan Mobley.
It's ridiculous what that man has done. Not only is he such a fantastic shot blocker, rim defender, but he's probably top 5. I don't want to say like perimeter defenders, but a help defender, wing stopper. He can do anything for the most part. I mean, he's not the greatest in like perimeter isolation.
For his position, he is though.
Yes, he is. Yeah. But talk to me about Draymond, bro. Why do you think he got in that number 2 spot? Was it the propaganda tour, or was it something else?
Well, he did say he should be the defensive player of the year, so that's why I have him number 2. That's pretty much it. No, the Warriors are top 10 defense, and he's their starting center. I mean,
It's 6'6".
being able to guard other team centers, rebound at that size, and he's the whole reason the Warriors can play the switch everything defense they have. I mean, if they have Looney out there, if they have Quentin Post, they're not trying to switch everything like they do with Draymond out there because he can guard 1 through 5.
Yeah. I mean, you said they're a top 10 defense.
Yeah.
Post All-Star, they're tied for number 1 in defensive rating. And I think the majority of that, of course, Jimmy Butler helped him.
Yeah.
But Draymond kept them probably in that top 10, off just grit alone. But love Draymond, man. But honestly, I'll admit, I was kind of sleeping on him a little bit before his propaganda tour.
Yeah. Yep.
That's when I really looked into it. But I still want to highlight how good he's been. But I got to give it to Evan Mobley, man.
For sure.
Shout out Dre. I think he leads the league in rim deterrence at 6'6". So
Pretty wild.
you're telling me NBA players driving to the lane, they see 6'6" Dre standing there, and they're saying, no, thank you. I'm good.
Well, they know about they're either going to get kicked in the nuts or clotheslined. So I'd be good too.
Or an elbow to the face.
Exactly.
What did you think about that offensive foul on Draymond when he went up for the layup with his elbows like this into Alperen Sengun's face? Did you see that? It was in your game.
Was that game?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he went up.
I thought you were talking about when LP was on offense.
Well, there was that as well.
That's what I remember.
But nah, there was an offensive foul on Draymond where he went up for a layup.
Like this?
Like this.
I didn't see that.
I saw him talking about his podcast as well with Baron Davis. And he was like, well, how else am I supposed to go to the rim? Brother, not swinging elbows. Like,
Yeah, that's just how Draymond is now.
that's just Draymond.
Yeah.
But,
Shout out Lou Dort, though, and Dyson.
Oh,
like
yeah,
you said.
facts. Shout out Lou Dort and Dyson Daniels, man. Fantastic. You want to talk about most improved?
Yeah,
I'll
we do
talk
most
about
improved.
Dyson right now.
Yeah, I got him number 1.
He went from like 6 points a game to 14 this season. Broke a record for deflections in the modern NBA. I believe it was 6 a game, which is double what the next highest one is, which I believe was John Wall in like 2016.
Wow.
It's just
That's
disgusting.
not who I would have expected to hold that record.
No. He didn't hold the record. It was like total deflections for a season in the modern NBA. I don't think it was John Wall. John Wall's was like, he averaged like 3.1 a game.
Okay.
In 2016.
He averaged that many steals a game.
Not steals. Yeah.
Dyson did.
Dyson did, which is just insane. I think I would have given DPOY if he was on a better team.
Yeah. Career high in everything, including efficiency.
Facts.
Who's your number 2?
I got Ty Jerome, man.
Okay. I like Ty Jerome.
I just don't think anybody saw this for Ty.
No.
It just really came out of nowhere. He's the only player in the entire NBA averaging over 12 points per game in less than 20 minutes. He's just been extremely efficient, fantastic playmaker. I'm going to talk about him a little bit more when we get to Sixth Man of the Year as well, though. Unfortunately, he didn't win either, but
yeah,
he's my runner-up in 2 awards, so...
He had a great season.
Facts.
My number 2 guy was Christian Braun.
Oh, I love that for him. You know I'm a Braun guy. I was considering him.
Jumped up 8 points, shooting 4 more shots a game, and he's shooting 57% from the field, almost 40% from 3.
He knows how to play off yoke.
Plays his role, does it well.
That's one guy who's staying in Denver this offseason.
Oh, he better.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what that new GM's going to be up to, but
Not trading Christian Braun.
He's had a great season.
Facts. I'm glad you gave him love. Let's talk about Sixth Man. You down with that?
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk about my number 2 first, which was Ty Jerome. Some more B-ball index stats. 3rd in playmaking talent off the bench. 2nd in three-point shooting efficiency off the bench. I believe that was only behind my number 1, Peyton Pritchard. But he's a leader for a top 5 team in bench scoring this year with over 40 points per game average for the Cavs off the bench.
They averaged 40 bench points a game?
Yes. I believe they were top 5, yeah. It might be 39, actually.
They got to be number 1, no?
No. There's like 3 other teams above them, I believe.
I'm guessing not good teams.
It was like the Grizzlies.
Okay, that makes sense, actually.
Maybe the Hornets or some shit. which makes sense as well because they probably got a wide variety of guys running in that game. So
That's what I was thinking.
I don't remember who the other team is, but yeah, top 5 in bench points per game, and he's the leader of that shit. He's also number 2 in LeBron off the bench, overall impact for his squad. So shout out Ty Jerome. I wish I could have given him number 1.
Yeah, I got the same as you. Pritchard, he just earned it this year. Great efficiency coming off the bench, getting that ultimate green light.
Just such a good offensive player, man.
And then Ty Jerome, number 2. Just based on what you said. Can't forget about Naz Reid, though, too.
Yeah, facts.
I think if the T-Wolves are a good
Naz
team.
Reid should have been fucking starting, though.
Yeah.
Like, these other guys, they came off the bench for a reason. And they had a great role. Naz Reid's basically a fucking starter that's being forced off the bench because of politics.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's my opinion. But, yeah, man, Peyton Pritchard, though, number 1 in LeBron, offensive LeBron, for any player off the bench. I believe he also is, like, the highest in the league in three-point shot-making efficiency and overall three-point shot-making talent. That's not just off the bench. That motherfucker was killing from 3 this year.
Do you think he could be a guy that goes to a new team, starts and averages 20?
I don't give a damn, bro. He belongs with a Jokic.
A Jokic, in that
Imagine-
Jamal Murray role?
Yes. I don't
Just
know if he can be a
chucking
starter
threes.
just because, I mean, his defense is not god-awful. Like, it's not bad at all.
No, it's not bad. It's just
But
his
I think
size.
it's his size, yeah. I think he thrives more in a 6-man role. I just think that's better for him. I could see him playing for a Nuggets, though. I feel like, just imagine Payne Pritchard in a Nuggets jersey.
I can see
You
it.
can see it, brother.
Yeah.
It's basically a smaller Christian
Maybe the
Brown.
Magic.
Oh, I like the Magic a lot, actually. That's a great pull. I mean, I think he could start in the backcourt with Jalen Suggs.
Exactly. They got the defense around him.
Whew,
He
I
can
like that a
shoot
lot.
the ball.
And he's not too expensive.
No, I don't know what contract he's on, but
I don't know.
I think he did sign with Celtics somewhat long term.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think the Celtics are trading him, unfortunately, but I'd love that.
What do we got next?
I think all we got left is Clutch Player of the Year, brother.
Clutch and coach.
Clutch and Coach, yeah. So let's talk about Clutch.
I got JB number 1.
I got Jalen Brunson as well.
17 and 9 in clutch games this
Yes,
year.
sir.
Number 1 in points per game in the clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Got to give it to him.
Yes, sir. Average over 6 points in the clutch, which is the last 5 minutes of close games. So he's getting more than a point a minute in those games. Very impactful for them. I think he's shooting over 52% from the field in clutch minutes. Whereas if you look at other guys, like that doesn't
Shooting
sound
like 30%,
yeah, exactly.
35.
It doesn't sound that crazy, but when you really look at it, that motherfucker is him in those last 5 minutes of a clutch game.
Because
so.
it is like a very small sample size because it is the last 5 minutes, right?
Facts.
So
But
shooting 52% is very impressive.
he's been consistent all year in that as well. I believe in our predictions a couple months ago, I predicted him to be Clutch Player of the Year because he was doing this,
Yeah.
and he's continued to do it.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Nikola Jokic.
I got him number 2 as well.
The stats told us everything we needed to know
Yeah.
for this award, man. Not to mention he's the only guy that can fucking do anything for his squad. So, I mean, he's just efficient as ever. Second in field goals made in the clutch behind only Brunson. And honestly, he felt like the only player to ever show up for the Nuggets in those last 5 minutes. So, I mean, Jamal isn't terrible.
Jamal's got
either.
moments.
Yeah. And the stats weren't terrible for him as well, but everybody else was dog shit.
Yeah. I mean, just another guy I liked was Trae,
Trae Young.
but he's just another guy. I mean, they were in 38 clutch games.
Mm-hmm.
They were 18 and 20, which isn't great. It's not
No.
horrible.
Anthony Edwards is a similar scenario where he played well, but the team lost. So
Exactly. And Trae is just another one of those guys. He's got no one else to take the pressure off him in the clutch. He's going to play make for everybody. He's going to shoot the ball. So
for sure,
if the Hawks were a little bit better team, he might have slipped into that number 2. But shout out Trae either way.
big facts. Big fan of Trae.
Let's get into Coach of the Year. I know you might have a little favoritism here.
It's not just that though, brother. I know it's controversial, and I know the 2 guys that are really in the running because they're the number 1 seeds. But
I've got Billy Donovan. No, okay, let me stop trolling.
nah, you caught me off guard there. I'm sure you got Dagnall and Atkinson, right?
I've got Dagnall and Atkinson.
Let me
They
tell
both
you,
deserve it.
And let me tell you why I got Ime number 1. Not a single one of you motherfuckers ever thought we'd be here. the most optimistic Rockets fan in the world. Me. Didn't think they would be here.
Not a chance in hell they're going to be the number 2 seed in the
I
West.
thought there was a chance they could be, even the 5th seed would be the highest I would have given them.
Yeah.
But, man, what he's done to turn this team around in 2 seasons. He took over like a 20-win squad, won double the games the next year, and then won 10 more games after that. I just genuinely believe no other coach could have brought this team from the depths they were at to the heights they are now. And I know for a fact that nobody saw this coming. Ime's instilled a stingy defensive culture and cultivated an intense environment in Houston that has pushed this team to the ceiling of its potential.
Yeah.
I genuinely think no other coach could have got this out of these guys.
I think that's a great point, and I do think he's maximizing his roster right now.
Facts. And not only that, but he did it with a very unconventional offense. And, of course, we know what he does for this team defensively. We got the highest percentage of our buckets in the league unassisted relative to everybody else. We had a lot of success with that double big lineup. That's more in the second half of the year. But not just that, like playing Bari at 5 a lot has been very big for us. What he's done with Amen Thompson in just a year has been fantastic. I don't know if any other coach is going to empower Amen to do what he can do.
For sure.
Just because there's concerns with his jump shot. Like, look at Asar, bro. They're twins. Like,
when I watch him shoot it, he's got a good form though.
I think there's a chance he turns it around, but even if he doesn't, he could be a top 10 player in this league.
No, I don't think.
Even
I
without
don't
a
think
jump
there's
shot.
anything to like turn around. He's not a guy that's going to shoot 5 threes a game.
Yeah.
He's going to shoot the corner threes when he's open, and I think he's got a good base jumper to work with.
Yep.
It's not like he's Ben Simmons where he's not going to take the jumper. He's going to take the jumper when he's open. He's just so good at getting to the basket. Why would you do anything else?
100%. But, I mean, when they're taking away the basket, if you can hit a mid-range jumper, if you can hit
He takes them.
He does. And if he can make them,
Yeah.
that'd be massive to his game. But I just love Ime. Lets the guys play to their strengths, empowers them, and specifically instilled confidence in our young guys to do their thing. Not only because they earned the minutes they played, like that we got vets in there so we can tell you, hey, motherfucker, he's earned this shit. Mm-hmm. You got to earn it too. You got to earn the ball in the fourth quarter. Jalen Green has earned the ball in the fourth quarter. At the beginning of this year and all of last year was Freddie. Freddie was our closer. Jalen Green has taken that role over and been very successful in it. I don't think another coach could have empowered Jalen Green to do that and be successful. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
It's because he had it and it got taken away.
Puts people in the right roles. And like you said, he built a great culture there, instilled confidence.
In 2 years.
He's getting the most amount of wins out of this roster as possible.
I don't think another person could have done it.
No.
And not only that, he wasn't afraid to sit our all-stars and sit our best players. If they're having tough games or if he needs to prove a point, like
you're not giving the effort. Sengun and Jalen.
You're not giving the effort on the defensive end. We're not playing you in the fourth.
Yeah.
And just when the backups were playing better, I just don't know if there's another guy that. I love Ime Udoka, bro. Like,
no, I think he's top 3 coach in the league.
Top 1.
But the reason I have Daignault there, I don't even have to have a reason.
Yeah,
they almost won fucking 70 games.
Daignault's my 2 with no notes. I don't need reasons to make him number 2. Of course, Kenny Atkinson.
Same thing with Atkinson. I mean, they have the same roster they had last year in terms of starting wise.
Yeah.
And what were they? 5th seed last year. They jumped up to a 65-win team. Same thing, like you said, with Ime. Put the guys in the right roles. He empowered Evan Mobley. Same with Ty Jerome. I mean,
facts.
Let him become the 6th man of a contending team when he really hasn't done anything impactful throughout his career so far.
Daignault's up there, but I honestly am considering putting Atkinson at 2 right now because of the expectations that what we thought the Cavs were, what we thought that roster was.
Daignault did have to deal with Chet injuries, Isaiah Hartenstein injuries in the beginning of the year. Has a great defensive scheme.
I think he's definitely a top 3 coach for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he's number 2 for me right now.
No, that's fair.
I'm just reconsidering it in this moment because I love Daignault and I love what he's done with that Thunder squad. But man, Atkinson,
He's right there.
He's right there.
I had Ime 3, and I also just wanted to show some love to JJ Redick as well.
Joe Mazzulla as well.
Joe Mazzulla, yeah. I mean, he got forgotten about for me.
Yeah, I feel
just
like
because the Celtics have been so good for the past 3 years.
facts.
I just gotten used to the scheme that he runs. And I'm not a big fan of the scheme, even though it works. I just like too many 3-pointers.
I know what you're saying, but yeah,
It's an effective scheme, though.
It works. Their defense is very well coached as well.
Yeah.
I think he kind of got lost in the mix because other teams just performed better than him.
And he's the guy that he doesn't give
very
zero
consistent.
fucks about the award, you know?
Yeah, I think it's
Damn,
just-
Luka's got 31 at half against
Damn.
the Dallas Mavericks.
they only up by 3 though. Damn, 3 steals too.
31, 3, 3, and 3 in return to Dallas. It could be a nice second half, but forget that.
How many is Luka in contention for any awards this year? I don't know if he's played enough games.
I don't believe he's played over 65 games this year.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because we did our All NBA teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Shout out JJ Redick putting Luka in the perfect position to get
fuck out of
putting the ball in Luka Doncic's hands.
I
What
do
a
think-
revelation!
I do think JJ Redick is a good coach, but I don't think he deserves to be in this conversation. To be honest with you.
He is still a rookie coach, but great rookie coach.
Yeah, 100% great rookie coach. I just don't think he's up there in this upper echelon.
Probably not with Ime and Kenny and Mark yet.
I don't think he's in the conversation yet. And there's
No,
a chance he
that's
could
fair,
be. Yeah, but
Yeah, that's gonna wrap the awards up.
for sure. Is there anything else you want to get into?
Nah, I mean I'm just excited. Got like one more week of the NBA season left, and then we head into the playoffs.
Facts.
We got the play-in games next Tuesday coming up, so we'll be able to talk about that on the next podcast.
Yeah, that should be a fun episode. I don't think we have an exact. Are we gonna be predicting the playoffs and shit in our next podcast? Play into championship predictions.
Yeah, why not?
Say less. Sounds fun.
Yes, sir.
Almost like filling out a little bracket.
You watched that national championship game?
No, but I saw.
You saw the way it ended?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, bro. That shit had
What
me
the fuck?
tweaking out.
What was that guy doing where he pump fake but didn't pump fake and then dropped the ball? And I know he can't grab it because he shot it.
Yeah.
Bro,
watching the championship game end like that,
it was so anticlimactic. Man.
it's like,
and I didn't even watch it.
just as that guy, you have to watch the ball roll on the ground for 3 seconds and hear the buzzer go off.
What's bro's name?
Either get it blocked and
Just
go up
shoot
with it
the
again.
shot.
1, 2, shoot the ball because you were open at first. Pump fake, or just fucking pick the ball up and take the travel and try to foul to get the ball back. I mean, you can't just watch the time run out. Craziest ending to one of the most important games I've ever seen.
Bro choked.
Bro choked bad.
Bro choked
I mean, the whole
bad.
team did. They had 20 seconds to bring the ball up, and they dribbled it out for the last 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And didn't even try to go to the basket when they were only down by 2.
Down by 2, yeah. No action to run at the rim is kind of insane. Down by 2. Who the fuck is the coach?
The coach was just standing there. He wasn't calling any plays. He was just watching all that shit happen. I think they had a timeout, too.
It would have been tough because imagine if Houston
Yeah.
won basketball.
Now it's Florida.
Fuck Florida.
Who we got?
No one.
Orlando? Nah.
No.
Miami?
No.
Who's the closest?
Orlando before Miami, brother.
Who's the closest to Florida?
Orlando. No.
Not
You said the closest to what?
Florida.
They're both in Florida, bro.
No, I'm talking about not one of those teams.
Oh. It does not matter.
It doesn't matter. No. It doesn't matter. Houston's pretty close.
Houston is pretty close to Florida, but I feel like there's definitely something closer.
Shout
Memphis.
out Walter Clayton
Memphis.
Jr., though.
Memphis. It's weird because they're in the West, but
Yeah.
they're right there.
Right above them, or right to the side of them.
But
Walter Clayton Jr., that guy from Florida, do you see any of his highlights?
is he a first-round pick?
I mean, just based off his
22.
tournament run, I think he should be a late first-round pick. I think he can come in and be a guy that contributes off the bench in his first year.
I would love if,
Kind of like a Brogdon.
I was going to say, I would love if the Bucks pick him up if we still have Giannis.
Fuck that. Bucks got to rebuild.
I know what you're saying, but if we still have Giannis and we're not rebuilding, I wouldn't mind that pick. Because we picked a bunch of dog shit fucking players in the last few years. So why not pick a guy
This
that can help
upcoming
us?
draft would be the draft to pick AJ Johnson. In last year's draft, you should have
It
picked.
depends
a guy
on
like
where
Walter
Giannis
Payton
is
Jr.
playing, bro. Oh my God, look at that. Jalen Green getting a national commercial.
Wow.
That boy's finally getting his shine. Did you see the NBA posted his nickname, like the ad hominem fallacy on their Instagram?
The fuck is that?
The ad hominem fallacy, brother. That's Jalen Green.
What does that mean? Is that like a term that I'm supposed to know?
Yeah,
Ad hominem?
it means you're attacking the ad hominem fallacy. It means your argument is attacking the man making the argument and not the argument itself.
Okay.
So, like,
Yeah.
everybody.
Why is that his nickname?
Basically,
Attacks the
politics
rim?
today. But no. That's just, it's the bullshit,
No, yeah.
like the anomaly and what was the paradox.
Yeah.
The genocidist. I'm kidding. No, remember we were talking
The
about that?
onomatopoeia.
Yeah, some of that bullshit. But
I'm glad that's fallen off. I
it
completely
did fall
forgot
off.
about
But
it.
then the NBA posted it like the other day.
That's not a
He
good
was the
one.
number one-
Jalen deserves a better nickname.
He was the
than
number
that.
one. Yeah, he does. But they just sealed it in motherfucking stone. Bro.
He'll get his time if he has a playoff moment.
I think he has a real potential to be a playoff riser. You
Well,
know,
this is his first. This is the year to find out, right?
I know, yeah.
He's either gonna score 12 a game, or he's gonna score efficient 25.
I mean, I just think
He's gonna shoot no matter what.
yes, but he's definitely been a guy that's shown up for us in big moments these last few years. So
Indy scored 20 against the Warriors, which is, I think, wasn't that the team that he?
oh shit, that was the
scored very
first
bad
time.
against?
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Shout out Jalen Green, first 20
Finally
ball
scored
against
20.
Golden State.
Hit some good step back splash threes in that
Facts.
fourth quarter.
He closed that game for us for sure.
All right. Well, anything else?
I actually do got that article I wanted to talk about.
What is that?
It's this dude made an article trying to tell us what the worst contracts in basketball were, based on, of course, your contract, your estimated wins added, and the value of a win.
So is Beal still number one?
Well, it was only players that played over 50 games. Beal was number one for players that played under 50 games.
Okay.
But I want to see if you can guess a couple, like, just throw out some names that you
Well,
think.
you told
might
me
have-
JB was on this list
JB is number one.
because he does have the biggest contract in the league. I think.
So they gave us what
Doesn't
they
make. I feel like he had some wins to that fucking team, but
hear me out. They gave his production value, which is his estimated wins added time, multiplied by the value of a win monetarily. I believe it was something around $3 million, $4 million. So they're saying his production value was $18.8 million, where he was getting paid damn near $50 million. So
I see how they're doing it now.
the difference was $30 million. Can you guess the two players on this list that had a negative production value?
Wow.
So it'd be a negative estimated wins added.
Pat Will.
Pat Will, your boy, he is atrocious.
I mean, what is he? He's getting like 18 mil a year.
Everybody on this list is making above 25 million.
Pat isn't.
Everybody besides him.
Oh, okay.
That tells you how bad he is.
What do they say? What his production contract
His
is?
production value, negative
4 mil?
2.7 million. Negative 2.
He should be paying us to be playing.
He should be paying y'all to play
Yeah.
basketball. So the difference was negative $20 million is his value.
Is PG on that list?
He injured. I don't
Okay.
think he played over 50 games. The only other negative guy on this list, think of a terrible player that played terrible all year until maybe he got traded. But he played like dog shit on his old team.
Terrible player.
But,
Terrible year. He's on
So
a
like
terrible team
he's,
now.
he definitely played better once he was traded.
Chris Middleton?
Right trade, wrong guy.
Who else was in that? Kuzma?
Kyle Kuzma. He's number 4 or number
yeah.
3 on this list, with a production value of negative 1.5 million and a salary of 25 million.
He's definitely not a very impactful player in terms of winning. He's
No.
going to bring the rebounds.
Well, you got to
He's
remember.
going to bring the energy and athleticism.
this is your
And
estimated.
he was playing in the Wizards for
Yeah, I was
half
gonna
a year.
say this is your estimated wins added. So playing with the Wizards, you're not winning very many games.
Yeah.
And statistically, he was not great with the Bucks.
I don't think he's adding many wins to that Bucks team.
No, he did not. So he's getting paid a lot of money. Throw out some other guys. There's some big names here, some very big names, and there's a couple of smaller ones as well. But I think.
I mean, JB's on that list. Is Drew on that list?
No other Celtics actually.
Because I know he's getting paid good amounts though.
I just don't think advanced stats have never favored Jaylen Brown. So that
I feel like
plays
with
into
that
it.
Celtics team, it's just like obviously they have such a good team, so JB's not going to add many wins because he doesn't have to play his best every night.
The estimated wins added stat, it's an accumulation of a lot of stats, boiled down to one number. You know all that bullshit.
Yeah,
It's some shit I look at in 2K. Like,
you're right.
but another one of your boys is on here.
DeMar?
No, right team, wrong guy.
It's not Levine, is it?
It is Levine.
Damn.
I
He's
mean,
had such a good year though.
yeah, his production value has been $20 million.
What is he paid? 35.
He's getting paid $44 million. So the difference was 23, brother.
Yeah, I mean it's a big contract for him, but
There's basically the two biggest names and faces in basketball are on this list. Old guys. LeBron.
And Curry?
Yeah. No, not Curry.
KD.
Yes.
Okay,
KD.
well KD makes sense because his team is so ass.
KD was 10th. There is an
Oops.
there's a guy that we talked about quite a bit on this episode. He wasn't any of the guys listed, but he was referenced to. He was compared to. Defensive guy. Giant contract.
Gobert?
Yes, Rudy Gobert.
I was actually thinking of him in the beginning, but I feel like he does.
He does, but the defense, as great as it has been, it did not.
It didn't make up for
his
it.
$50 million or $43 million contract.
Yeah.
Still had a decent production value though, with $24 million. Another guy to highlight here, Terry Rozier.
Yeah, he's got to be. They need to
Not
investigate him
negative.
again. Launch another
he
investigation.
played better than Patrick Williams. Are we investigating his bitch ass?
No, because he's never been a good player. Terry went from good to
Yeah, dog
not
shit.
even close to good.
Bro just gives the ball away and shit.
Yeah.
But that was the last guy. There's also Devin Vassell, but he's just got a large rookie contract and
Wishy-washy year for him.
yeah.
Came
He
in
also
injured.
didn't. He had some injury as well, but played enough games to make this list. Unfortunately,
That's an interesting list.
I don't believe any of it.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's some guys that I think it's an interesting conversation. I
Yep.
mean, like a Jaylen Brown kind of shows you how advanced stats don't tell you the full picture at all. Because I watched Jaylen Brown, I called him the best player on the Celtics in their playoff run last year.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he got
So at
Finals
some points he
MVP,
is.
So, yeah. So of course it does not tell the full picture.
Yeah.
So,
Cool stuff to look at, though.
yes, it was. I mean, article, it was all right.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was a little bit interesting to talk about. So let's assign each other some playing games.
Yeah. I mean, they're not locked in yet. We don't know who's going to play who. But on Tuesday, there are 2 play-in games. One at 7:30, I believe. And the other, well, the time's to be determined, but 7th and 8th in the West and 7th and 8th in the East. Both on
So,
Tuesday on TNT.
Right now it's looking like it's going to be Magic and either Hawks, Bulls, or Heat. They're all tied. And it's going to be Grizzlies and Timberwolves, most likely. Well, no.
The
'cause
West, we have
the
no
West,
idea.
there's the Clippers, Nuggets, Warriors, or Grizzlies, or even Timberwolves could end up anywhere in there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even the Lakers, I don't know how many games they have left. I don't imagine it's much. But,
4.
So, yeah, even they could slip down. So, anywhere from 3 to 6 right now is up in the air.
Yeah.
But it looks like the Kings, they clinched the 9 seed.
You want East or West?
I like how the West looks, but I mean, it's up to you, brother, because I'm going to pick West. I think either one of us would pick West.
I'll pick the East then.
Okay, say less.
It's fine with me.
And that's
I hope they get to watch the Bulls play.
for sure. And that's next Tuesday, you said?
Yep.
Say less, my boy. I think we're going to wrap this pod up, unless you got anything else that you want to speak on.
I think that'll do it. It was a good episode.
Facts. Anybody who made it this far, man, if you could drop a comment, a like, hit that subscriber button.
Began some good views recently. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, facts. We appreciate the tiny little bit of motion, little tiny ripple in the water. Ain't no waves yet, just a little ripple, but we appreciate anybody who's tuning in, man.
If you do make it this far, definitely leave a like, though.
Facts. We appreciate any likes, so
We'll see y'all next week.
peace out, man.